you hear me loud and clear, cause I think I'm lost without you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Yeah. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. So, of course, it is Friday, the 2nd of August. We are coming to the end of another week. It's been a pretty horrible week in terms of price moving towards the downside, right? It's been a pretty horrible horrible week in that perspective, right? But initially, we've had, of course, a lovely setup on that Monday, of course, which was given to the team in the daily market update, as you can see here. Okay, we were looking at this. If we form the failed auction of that high, okay, we were looking for that pullback, and as we know, we do have one of their members who said they took that trade. FR Trader here said he took that trade. So yeah, what an amazing trade from him. So yeah, congratulations to him for taking that trade. But initially, I have now closed that long trade, right, that I was previously in. So if we go up a little bit higher, we can initially, where are we? Here we can see that long trade that I did actually enter into, and of course telling the team here that I'm entering into that trade as well. Okay, and then we of course added to that trade down here as well, just compounded the long trade, added to the long, because we had a setup from the range low. Of course, that was given in the daily market update as well, and of course, telling the team that I was entering into that trade as well over on the Discord. And as you can see, we got a really nice rise after entering into that trade, and that ended up being an extremely profitable trade. Okay, over $10,000 in a profit on that trade, so it was absolutely amazing. That has now been fully closed. So let's bring that up here. Here you go, all closed, status all closed. So that trade is now fully closed. Okay, and at this moment in time, I'm in no short trade. Of course, we had the short trade set up from here. Unfortunately, I did miss that short trade. I was away from the computer at that time. Okay, but initially, right, we were looking at that again. Like I said, one of the members did take that trade, and as you can see, it's been a really nice trade. And we are actually starting to pull back once again as well, because today, yesterday and today, we have been seeing price rise up. But like I said to the team this morning in the daily market update, okay, we have actually been looking at price pulling back today. Okay, let's just double check everything's okay. Seems to be okay. I think my computer is going a little bit crazy because it is extremely hot here at the moment, and I can just hear the fans going. So, is there anything that I can just close quickly? Let's try that. Let's see if that helps. But yeah, this morning in the daily market update, right, that I did for the team, we were actually looking today to see lower prices, because we did have a PDV set up. So if we pull up XO charts here, this morning in the daily market update, I was talking about possibly seeing $63,100. Now, of course, we haven't tapped that target as of today yet, right? But we are starting to see price pullback now, and we could actually see that target being tapped. So that was a target that I gave the team this morning. I was saying $63,100 could be tapped today. And yeah, of course, when was this? So yeah, this was when price was sitting around this area here. Okay, so we did initially see a rise. Okay, back up to that daily open, where we are now seeing a pullback off of the daily open, okay, down to this possible previous day value area low at $63,100. So we may tap that in the next few minutes, as we are getting a bit of a dump here. So we'll see how that plays out, of course. But yeah, of course, we will today run through everything that is going on, everything that I'm looking for within the future as well. So yeah, of course, if that all sounds interesting, please do make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. And of course, if you are new to the channel as well, please do subscribe and turn that bell notification on so you never ever miss any of these videos, because I do believe I am giving some very valuable information out on these live streams. But yeah, we will jump into it, right? We'll see what is going on, okay, and yeah, we'll see what those next best trade setups are, right? So yeah, let's jump on into it. So of course, ever since the short setup here, right, price has just been pulling back. Okay, price has been pulling back, and whilst we've been pulling back, right, we have actually started to break the bullish structure that we have been in. Okay, so we've been looking at this previously for quite some time now, right? We have this very bullish structure. Okay, this very bullish structure that we've seen many times before. Okay, we've seen this bullish structure many times. Well, I say many times before. We've seen this twice before. Okay, in in this range that we are currently in. And as you can see, what has happened after this bullish structure, okay, has been broken, as you can see here, we then start to form this bearish structure, and price comes down to form another low. Okay, so we've been talking about this for some time, right? That is the prior time that it happened, but it happened once before that as well, okay, where we had this bullish structure here. Okay, we then broke that structure. Of course, we had the short trade from this high here at $72,000, okay, and then we actually started to form that bearish structure, and we then formed that new low, as you can see right here, where from there, okay, of course, we then formed the bullish structure, broke the bullish structure, we had the short trade from up here, okay, and had this pullback, and now we're seeing the exact same thing, right, where we've got this bullish structure, we had the short trade from up here, okay, and now we are starting to see price pull back. Okay, so for me, looking at what has happened previously, okay, where we have the bullish structure, okay, after taking out a range low, and then we come down and take out that range low again, okay, where we then get the long trade set up, okay, for that bullish structure to come up, get the short trade at the high, okay, for price to pull back, take out the low again, okay, for another long trade to long that back up, okay, because of course that previous long trade that I was in was from that range low. So let's see if we can, here we go. Well, that was when we added to the long trade, and this one was the initial long trade that we entered into, of course. And we did the exact same thing back here, right? We entered into the long trade here, and I believe we added to it there as well. Okay, so we took full advantage of that rise towards the upside there as well. So this is currently what I'm looking to do on Bitcoin, right? I'm looking to continue this, right? So we've broken the bullish structure now. We can see that we've broken these series of higher lows here. Okay, so we now know that we've broken the bullish structure. So the expectation now is that we're going to start to form this bearish structure, and that we can actually come down and take out this low once again. Okay, and taking out this low once again for me, okay, is just another opportunity to look for a long trade. Doesn't mean I'm going to take a long trade. No, of course I need to see the long trade setup, but okay, if we see price come down, maybe take out this naked point of control here, we see price rise, form this failed auction type pattern, okay, we have lots of trapped shorts at the low, then for me this is the perfect opportunity to look for a long trade to take this to higher prices, okay, and start to of course form that bullish structure, where of course we do have to be aware that price is naturally, okay, and the context for Bitcoin at this moment in time is bearish, right? Because we are in this bearish structure. So if we do see this rise, we can still expect another lower high. Okay, we can still expect another lower high for price to pull back to form another lower low. Now, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, okay, because we do understand that, yes, if this bullish structure, okay, so let's say we do get the long trade from down here, okay, we do see this really nice rise, and this bullish structure continues, and then we start to break the context, which is bearish, okay, we break that bearish structure, then of course we can be looking to new all-time highs, okay, but until we do that, we have to understand that the anticipation is another lower high for another lower low. Okay, so my anticipation right now is that price is, okay, now going to start to form this bearish structure. Okay, forming this bearish structure means we can then come down and look for this new low. Okay, and as I have just been speaking, I do think, let's have a look, we have literally front run it by by a couple dollars there. We have literally just front run that target I had this morning by a few dollars, as you can see there. But yeah, initially this morning the target was, okay, this $63,100. We'll probably come and take it out, but I understand, we have front run a few levels recently. But yeah, it's quite nice to see that target being taken out. And I mean, there was a possible long trade, right? There was a possible long trade from here, and I mean, if you took the long trade, there was a nice rise, okay, for a nice TP1, of course. For me, not really too interested in it, because we're in this very bearish structure now, and the anticipation now is that we do come down and we come and form a new low. So for me, shorts are more favorable at this moment in time, rather than the long trade. So I'd rather see a short trade set up. And I mean, we do have this very bearish structure here on the lower time frames. And I mean, like, I'd kind of rather see, right? I'd kind of rather see a bit of a bigger rise towards the upside for then a bigger drop. And that's where I'd be looking to get into a short trade. That's what I would quite like to see. Because we do have some confluence there, right? We do have a monthly naked point of control at that level. If we pull up a GP786 as well, we've got the GP786 in that area. And then there's a possibility, of course, of forming absorption coming into that level. Which would, initially be really, really nice to see. So, yeah, initially that's kind of what I would like to see for the short trade. But yeah, at this moment in time, we're a little bit unsure, because of course we could literally just continue down, right? We could literally just continue down. With this move up, with this move down here, we didn't really see any major correction towards the upside. So we could kind of see the same thing here, and we have literally just taken out that target that I had this morning, right? So we've just taken out that. Let's go into we've literally just taken out $63,100, which is quite nice to see. So yeah, that's quite nice to see that target has been that target has been taken out today. And to be honest with you, like I really wouldn't be surprised if we see continuation lower here. We're seeing a lot. We're seeing a lot of long trades getting liquidated, like a lot. You can just see all of this negative delta, right? And open interest is ticking towards the downside. So, we know this is money flowing out of the market, and because it is negative delta, we know that these are most likely longs closing, right? Longs getting liquidated. So at this moment in time, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce off of that previous day value area low. Sometimes it does act as support. So but yeah, it is looking for me right now. It is looking good for a move down to below $53,000, to be perfectly honest with you. And right, I understand. Yes, we may not actually come and form a new low. There are going to be scenarios where where we've got support. There are going to be scenarios where we may actually see a nice long trade setup, okay, and we could actually see a nice rise up, right? And that's where we have to adapt, right? We have to adapt to what the markets are doing. So, I'm not here saying, right, we're 100% coming down here. I just know on a probability and a statistical basis, right, this is quite likely, right? But at the same time, okay, if we come into like a GP 786 and we're looking really strong, again, okay, that changes, right, on a statistical basis and on a based off of probabilities, right? If we see a long trade setup here, the expectation is a move up, okay. But then we have to remember as well, this move up could be another lower high for price to just come down, right? So this would be a level of interest for me, like this GP 786. We probably do have some naked point of controls at that level. So we've got a weekly down here just above the 786. We've got a daily just above the GP. So of course that is all support. But of course, whenever I'm looking at a fib level, I always like to incorporate absorption into that. So let's see. Let's go to the so to be honest with you, it's looking quite likely that we are going to get some nice absorption coming into that. So yeah, there is, of course, okay, a nice long trade setup from here. Now, of course, what we need to see, okay, is we need to see price like holding this level. Okay, we need to see price actually holding this level because, of course, if we just like lose these levels, then there's no real interest of me taking this long. I want to see price, have a nice little bullish reaction off of these levels before entering into any sort of long trade there. But yeah, I do quite like this area for a possible long trade. So we'll have to see how that plays out over time, of course. Of course, if you guys have any questions, anything that you want to look at, please do put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to take a look at anything. We're seeing a pretty significant pullback here, just more longs getting wiped out here. Of course, this is no place to be shorting. Absolutely no place to be shorting. If anything, long trades are more favorable here, but even that, I'm not looking for any long trades. Not looking for any long trades whatsoever at this level. At the moment, anyway. We will see, right? It'll be interesting to see what happens at this low here, because of course, we've taken out the low of the range. We've taken out the low of the range by a few dollars. We did get the nice rise up. Of course, we are coming back down to it now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens at it. Can we swing failure pattern it, fail auction it for a rise up, possibly, or are we just going to lose it and see a much bigger move down? Again, like coming down, we're not seeing any shorts open up really. These moves down that we're seeing are kind of just fueled by longs getting wrecked. Okay, so we had 12 million new shorts opening up in this candle here. But again, it's just like, look at all that open interest decrease with all that negative delta. It's just longs getting stopped. We're also getting a big pullback on the stock market as well. Like a big pullback on the stock market. And I mean, you can see how bullish this has been. See how extremely bullish this has been. So like a correction is, of course, needed. A correction is, of course, necessary. So yeah, how far can this go? If the ES is going to continue to pull back, the expectation is Bitcoin's going to pull back here as well. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens at this low here. I'm not sure whether I'll be interested in trading yet. I mean, today has been pretty boring until we've seen this pullback here. It's been pretty boring price action. But I mean, ever since we took out this, we've always consumed. Yeah, kind of what I was waiting for this morning was kind of to take out these highs here. If we could have taken out these highs, I would have quite liked it for a short trade. But we didn't see that play out. It wants that low. It wants to take that low. So we do have support as well where we are with the mid-range of this descending parallel channel. So, that's the reason for the bounce yesterday. And of course, that's the reason why price is kind of like stalling at this level as well. We know, the mid-range always acts as support and resistance, always. You can see, throughout this, it's been respected so many times here. And that's why I always say, right, mid-range of like a parallel channel is always a very, very important take profit point. It is really taking its time. I do still think it wants to take this low out, though. I do still think it wants to take the low. I feel like my computer's moving quite slow today. It is unbearably hot in here. I think I'm just incredibly tired because it's just unbearably hot in my office. It's horrible. Our houses here in the UK are not designed for the heat. They're designed to keep the heat in. So when there is heat and it is hot, you can't get it out. And we don't have AC. We are also at previous month VWAP as well. So yeah, can I actually? No, I don't believe I can. So previous month VWAP, I'll just manually put it in, is sat at around 62,783. And of course, that's exactly where we bounced from yesterday. And that's exactly where we are stalling at this moment in time. I just really want to see this low taken out on this stream, because I do think it could offer a nice possible long trade. It's kind of what I'm waiting for. It would just be nice to see, what are we going to do at this level? Are we going to, get a nice bullish reaction maybe for a long trade, or are we going to lose this? Okay, because we've tested it before, nice bounce. We're now testing it again. If we can take out the low and we can still hold this level of support, it could be nice for a little long trade back up. Just go do that for now. So yeah, it'd be nice to see what happens. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm a little bit fed up of, of sitting in my office today. I've had to be doing some things, so I haven't really got out much. But yeah, I'm a little bit fed up, to be honest with you. It's just incredibly hot in here. No, back up. We front run it again. Like, even though, even though I believe that we could go lower from here, much lower, I do still like this kind of little zone here. I do still like this little zone here for some smaller long trades, and maybe even a long trade up for then a short trade down. That's what I kind of like at this level, and that's what I'm kind of like thinking. We've got a lot of support at this level. There is a lot of support around these levels, so it's like, can we get a nice trade set up for a long up, okay, and then look for that bigger short trade down, okay? Because I still believe that we could go down to the 12-hour range low. God, I just want to see this this low being taken now. So we're seeing some short trades open up at this low, so 8.3. I'd prefer to see more shorts opening up at these lows. But we'll see. If we get like one more move down, maybe we could see lots of shorts opening up there. Because like initially, I'd for the long trade, I'd rather see some shorts opening up. That's what I'd prefer to see. I know that it wants to take the low. It's just a matter of when. I did honestly think this was gonna take the low a little bit quicker, to be honest. Still does feel like it wants to take this low out, and it's just a matter of, do we see the long setup here? And it's not even a long trade that I'm considering holding open for very long whatsoever. It'd be like a quick trade up, and then I'm like taking profits, move the stop loss to entry, let the rest of the trade ride. That's kind of the idea that I'd have behind it. But first, I want to see the low taken before I even consider entering into the long. I want to see the low taken, really. Okay, well, this is taking way too long. Yeah, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm getting quite frustrated sat in this office now. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there. Sorry, it's been a bit of a boring, bit of a quiet live stream, but yeah, it's a Friday, and yeah, it's been extremely hot today, so I'm just a little bit frustrated with with everything. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, guys. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and yeah, of course, I will be back. Hopefully under different circumstances. Hopefully it's not so unbearable in this office. So yeah, I will see you guys on Monday, and of course, any Visionary members, I will see you over on the Visionary Discord. So yeah, for that, first link in the description, or for the free Discord, that's the second link. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, guys. Have a lovely weekend. If I do not speak to you, for Visionary members, I will speak to you, of course, over the course